This afternoon we're at one of the world's great sporting theatres, Murrayfield. It's currently the home of Hearts, but it's their opponents today, Rangers, who've been creating all the drama this week as Pedro Caixinha took his final bow.
I'm a crazy guy, I know that. I'm honest, I'm clean, I'm open. This is the best squad in Scotland. The dogs bark and the caravan passes.
Your days are done.
Too much water might kill the plant. What happens in Las Vegas stays in Las Vegas. I told the players, you're embarrassing me, you're embarrassing our clubs, you're embarrassing our fans. I'm responsible.
Time has come.
Graham Murty has been here before. He's in a temporary charge of Rangers once again. Last time he did get a reaction from his team, earning a point at Celtic Park. Rangers' only point in that fixture last season. The big news is Miller is back, he starts and he's captain. Hearts have also had their own managerial issues this season and did opt for someone who knows the club inside out. The Edinburgh side have slowly improved and will look to continue that progress with a win over Rangers this lunchtime. Kick-off here at Murrayfield is in 30 minutes' time as Hearts host Rangers in the Ladbrokes Premiership. So here is how the Premiership table looks going into today's match. Hearts sit 7th after their loss to Hibs. Rangers draw with Kilmarnock, coupled with Motherwell's win over Dundee on Wednesday night, means the Glasgow side are down to 4th, sitting 8 points behind league leaders Celtic. This is one of 6 games taking place in the Premiership today. Elsewhere, Aberdeen host Ross County. It's Celtic against Kilmarnock, Dundee Hamilton, high-flying Motherwell Hibernian, and Partick Thistle, who finally picked up a win last weekend, are at home to St Johnstone. Yeah, another fascinating afternoon ahead. Another week of turmoil for Rangers, and Hearts come into this game looking to bounce back from that Edinburgh derby defeat. Well, alongside me in the capital today are Chris Commons and the former Rangers midfielder and Kilmarnock manager Lee McCulloch. Well, Lee, let's start with your former club then, Rangers. What have you made of what's transpired there this week?
Well, I think when you look at the position that Rangers are on the table at the moment, some of their performances, some of the results, I don't think it comes as a big surprise, and especially with the dressing room and the players and the culture at the club at the moment, with certain media reports that there's no surprise that Pedro's moved on.
Well, OK, let's get to the teams for today's game then and show you how both sides line up. We'll start with the home side. Hearts 3 changes for them from the side that lost to Hibs on Tuesday night. They go 2 up top. Ishmael Gonsalves partnering Kyle Lafferty, and the start in midfield for 16-year-old Harry Cochrane. Well, for Rangers, yes, Kenny Miller is back. He is the captain today. They also have to make changes elsewhere, though. Problems at the back for the interim manager, Graham Murty. Ross McCrory and Danny Wilson, the centre-half partnership, is Danny Wilson's first start in the Premiership since May the 7th. That's because of injuries, of course, to Fabio Cardoso, picked up in the League Cup semi-final, and that suspension of Bruno Alves. OK, well, Kenny Miller is the headline inclusion, Chris. And what do you make of his exclusion initially and the fact he's back today?
I just think if anyone was in doubt of the influence Kenny Miller's got at Rangers, then this is the statement. Not only playing, but captain. It's a real message out for the last regime.
How will he respond today, being back in the team? I imagine it has killed him being on the sidelines these past few weeks.
Yes, having known Kenny for a number of years and played with him for club and country, I think, well, I know he's a winner, and I know when he's not playing, it hurts him. He's a terrific player. Forget about his age. He's a terrific football player, and he's one that has been the best player last season, and probably started the season by his own standards slower than normal. But again, coming in today, he'll love this today. Absolutely love it, and I bet he can't wait bursting out his skin, especially as captain. Yeah,
he'll be busting a gut here today. Well, of course, this match is being played at the home of Scottish rugby. Luke Shanley is pitch side for us. Luke, how could that impact on the players this afternoon?
Well, Mark, firstly, there is no dugout, so the players, the coaching staff will be behind there in the stand. And there's also this big runoff area. Maybe Slaven Bilic is used to it at the London Stadium, but 30 paces from the tunnel all the way up to the edge of the pitch. And the dimensions width-wise are the same as Tynecastle. They have taken it in a bit. But when you look at things, it is a big crowd. They're not used to that as well. One of the biggest in Edinburgh for over 40 years. There's the booth up there that the rugby coaches use. The analysis guys can use that. But for the assistant managers today, running back and forth to Graham Murty and Craig Levine, they will be exhausted. It's Hearts' 11th game at Tynecastle in their history. Back to you.
Yeah, Luke will be breathing heavily after that workout. Of course, Rangers come into this game on the back of that draw against Kilmarnock. Chris, what did you make of the performance and ultimately this frantic finale to the game that transpired that ultimately cost Pedro Caixinha his job?
Yeah, I mean, I think they got off to a good start in the game. They always try and play out from the back, but it's just, for me, it's everything that was snowballing out of effect under Pedro's reign. I mean, this is Ryan Jack's 3rd red card of the season already, and it's frustrations on the pitch, it's frustrations off the pitch. And you know what? The ending to the game was kind of where it was going to go, you know? That sort of... You've never seen it before in TV, you know, probably the last time you've seen this was, you know, the Watford game, if you don't remember that one. But, I mean, it's a crazy, crazy end to a game for what has been a crazy 7 months under Pedro.
Lee, from a coaching point of view, how does this come about? Because you look at the end, when this goal eventually goes in, there's about 8 Rangers players either in or just around their own box. They've got bodies back.
They have got bodies back, but it's a horrendous goal to lose from a Rangers point of view. I think that it sums up the full club at the moment with the way how you can have a penalty in injury time and still come away with only a point. You miss the penalty, so be it. You need your leaders on the pitch, and that's where Kenny Miller today will come in, because he is a leader on the pitch, he is a talker, and he will get his point across to all those players, whereas there didn't seem to be any communication whatsoever. I think as an experienced player, you're saying, if we're having a penalty, let's get 3 or 4 back the pitch. We're in injury time, you've got to realise you're in injury time, but I think, as Chris says, that sort of sums up.
I think that's where Pedro lost Kenny Miller. The fact that he has got such a big influence, not just in the dressing room, but with the supporters, and probably Pedro felt under pressure for the amount of influence he has got. And like I said, it's proof today that he's playing and captain. Complete role model for these players and young players as well.
Yeah, well, that frantic 5-minute finale ultimately cost Pedro his job. That means Graham Murty is in charge today. We can now hear from him. He's down with Luke Shanley.
Graham, here we go again. What have you said to your players to galvanise them ahead of this one?
I haven't had to galvanise them. The professional athletes, they know they're going to be judged on performance. They need to get themselves up. They need to go and put a good performance on in front of thousands of our travelling fans and send them home happy.
Have you had to try and unite the dressing room then?
It's up to the players to do that. They're the ones who have to step out onto the pitch, so it's up to them to make sure that they work together and work forward as one. So I've got no doubt whatsoever that the players will do that. They will come together and hopefully they'll put in a really good performance today.
You brought back Kenny Miller. How big a boost is that?
For who?
For the team and for him.
It's good for me because he knows how I like to play. It's good for him because I think he may have a point to prove, which is always good in any footballer. But for the team, he needs to fit in, he needs to work hard, and he needs to go and contribute towards a very, very good team performance. And that's my only aim for that, is to make sure that we go and put in a good performance and win the game.
Was that an easy decision, given he hasn't played for a month?
Yeah, I see the way the guy trains, I see his enthusiasm, I see that he might have a little bit of an edge about him as well, which is good. But more than anything else, he knows how I like the game to be played. He's a leader on and off the pitch, so we need to make sure we harness that in a positive way.
What do you expect from Hearts?
I expect them to be up for it. I expect it to be a physical battle. I expect them to try and be aggressive with us and be on the front foot, as we do with every team that we play against. And we have to match that. We have to step up to it, and we have to face it down, and then we have to be brave enough to play.
Good luck.
Thank you very much indeed.
Yeah, the thoughts of Graham Murty there speaking to Luke. You played with him for Scotland, Lee. What kind of guy is he? Why do the club trust him in these situations?
Well, he's been proven before. Firstly, when he came in, I think he had 6 games. I don't know his win ratio, but he's the famous one for getting the point at Celtic Park. Having played with him, I think he's a lot different to what he is when he played and what he is when he's a coach. He's a good talker, a good communicator, and obviously he's a nice guy. But just it's interesting, his interview there, he's sort of shifting the responsibility to the dressing room. So you can tell, I don't think that he's really want the job, to be honest with you. He's sort of shifted it and said it's up to the players and nothing to do with him.
OK, guys, pause things just there. Yeah, supporters arriving here at Murrayfield. Dave King is here as well. Contrary to reports, he's in the country. Is he preparing to appoint the next Rangers manager? Time to tell. It's a big day of football on Sky Sports. Aside from events here at Murrayfield, there's a huge game in the Premier League this lunchtime. Manchester United face Spurs minus the injured Harry Kane. That's on now on Sky Sports Premier League. Our focus is events here at Murrayfield. Fans are arriving here for the game, young and also old, in preparation for Hearts taking on Rangers. Chris Commons and Lee McCulloch are still alongside. We'll get more from the guys in just a second. But these teams faced each other 4 times last season under 4 different managers. Here's a reminder of how things panned out. Four managers last season, 2 more different managers this time round. We've heard from Graham Murty. Let's get the thoughts of Craig Levein now. He's speaking with Luke Shanley.
You've made changes to the team. Talk us through them and why you've made them.
Well, we've been struggling to take the ball from the back to the front without going sort of direct. So we have we put players in who will take possession of the ball. Okay, they might be a bit younger, but it's their natural game. It feels better. And we'll see how they do.
With those young players, are you able to read into their character and how they cope on a day like this?
I've no reason to question their character, and I believe that they'll do a good job for us today. The other thing is I'm very hopeful that the more experienced players round about them will do everything they can to help them.
There's been a change at Rangers in terms of Graham Murty coming in now. What has that done to your preparation and what do you expect from them?
Well, I had a guess at the team yesterday and got it spot on. So, Graham's got a different way of playing, not a hugely different way of playing. He's only really got the players that Pedro had. So, I mean, there's not an awful lot different that he can do, and there's not an awful lot of time. A couple of days at the most. So, they will be different because of a different coach. I'm sure they'll be more energised. There'll be guys like Kenny Miller, who has come in from Siberia and gets the captain's armband, so Kenny will be energetic. Danny Wilson's not played for a while. He'll come in and feel that he's got something to prove. So, but we're aware of all that, and we've communicated that to the players.
Good luck.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, the thoughts of Craig Levein. Well, you played under him for Scotland. What is his approach like as a manager?
I liked Craig Levein. I liked playing under him. I think he goes for physical presence, hence maybe the reason why he picked me, and aggression. But I know he works really hard on set plays as well. He doesn't overplay, like he said in his interview there. He'll get the ball forward. If the ball needs to go forward, he will get the ball forward. And he obviously likes a winning mentality in his team as well. So it's going to be an interesting game today. I'm really looking forward to it.
Chris, of course, they come into this game on the back of that defeat to Hibs in midweek. What did you make of their performance at Easter Road?
It's probably the worst I've seen Hearts this season. They played a lot of long balls forward, really hopeful balls, no real quality to them. And you see when you're playing long balls up like this, you need people in and around Laugh, because he were picking off scraps for most of the time. And Craig mentioned there about trying to get the ball forward through the midfield. If you've got the personnel that are so uncomfortable doing that, then you do end up resulting in another long ball, which, you end up just wasting the possession. And listen, Hearts have only scored 10 goals this season. 8 have come from Carl Lafferty, and let me tell you, they're not be scoring many goals if they keep playing like this. Hence why he's changed it. There's going to be a huge emphasis on Harry Cochrane, the young 16-year-old boy coming in and trying to link the play. So there is a big emphasis on the midfield. And when you're playing out from back, it doesn't just happen overnight. You don't just change personnel. You need to work tirelessly in training, and that's with the midfield and the centre halves. And once you've got in that area, you then need the next plan. So I'm going to be interested to see how it turns out.
You mentioned Harry Cochrane there. He is 16 years old.
Yeah.
What are the challenges for a young player like him playing at this level? What was it like for you when you broke into the side?
It's just being nervous. It's kind of playing in front of a crowd, playing in front of your family. You know, the expectations of filling your potential. And at 16 years old, he's certainly got potential. That's one thing for sure. But, you know, it's funny enough that Craig Levein says it was a mistake not starting him in such a big game. So he's definitely got the mentality to play in that. But, you know, as you see there, it breaks up the play. He's got good energy. And, you know, he nearly scored against St Johnstone, you know, last weekend. So, you know, he's got what looks like all the tricks in the bag.
He's the first graduate of an SFA performance school to start a Premiership game. He used to travel 45 minutes each way from Lanarkshire to Kilmarnock to go to the school. What do you make of this idea of performance schools, Lee?
Yeah, I think it's working. There was one at Kilmarnock who didn't go on the pitch. There's one at Aberdeen who came on as a sub, rightly, and young Harry's here the first one to start a match. I like the look of Harry. I think he's got a little bit of aggression about him, which looking at a lot of young boys nowadays haven't. And he's got a desire to play. And if Craig Levein's putting him in there to be the link man in the middle of the park, it speaks volumes of the young boy's ability and mentality.
Yeah, a bit of ability, a bit of aggression as well. He planted John McGinn in midweek at Easter Road on the touchline. OK, this game here is Hearts against Rangers. The atmosphere is building. All the action is live when we return. Welcome back to Murrayfield Stadium, the home today at least of Heart of Midlothian as they face Rangers in the Ladbrokes Premiership. Lee McCulloch and Chris Commons still alongside me as the players get ready to make their way out onto the pitch. Lee, if you're one of those Rangers players in the tunnel waiting to come out after a difficult spell, all the eyes are on you, how would you approach it? What would they be thinking?
For me, I think it's a new game, so you've got a point to prove. Every Rangers player in that tunnel today's got a point to prove because it's a new game for such a massive club. That's the mentality these players have got to have. Having lost their manager, they have to be looking for leaders, and there's not many better than the captain in front of that team today.
And Chris, if you're a Hearts player, knowing you're facing a fired-up Kenny Miller and co, how do you go about it?
I just think stick to your own game plan. You've been training all week. You've got a motive there to try and beat Rangers. And listen, their back four is a very young back four, especially the two centre halves. I'd think try and get the ball up to Carl Lafferty as soon as possible and get off him. So it's going to make for an interesting time. Looking forward to it.
OK, well, as you can see, the teams are in the tunnels. Let's hand you to your commentary team, a former Celtic striker, Andy Walker, and first, Ian Crocker.
Thank you, Mark. It's been another turbulent week for Rangers Football Club, and they've certainly had a few of those in recent times. A League Cup loss to Motherwell and a home draw with Kilmarnock meant the end for Pedro Caixinha. Nobody really expected his reign to last for long. It was only a matter of time. With the new stand at Tynecastle taking much longer to finish than expected, Hearts have moved into Murrayfield. Around 32,000 are inside the home of Scottish rugby today. 14,000 of them Rangers fans, and their team owes them one, maybe more than one. Although the Hearts fans might be thinking the same about their team, having lost to Hibs in midweek. So both sides in urgent need of a serious pick-me-up. Who will come out on top as Hearts meet Rangers? Everyone at Murrayfield is more than ready for this. feet. 16-year-old Harry Cochran makes his third start, and 19-year-old Lewis Moore just his second. Isma Gonsalves is restored alongside former Rangers man Kyle Lafferty. Conor Randall is left out. Ewan Henderson and Jamie Brandon dropped to a bench. It also includes 16-year-old Anthony McDonald. Kenny Miller comes in from the cold as captain, having been left out of the last 4 matches by Pedro Caixinha. Danny Wilson faces his former club, replacing the suspended Bruno Alves. Jason Holt is another ex-Hearts man. Ryan Jack is free to play after appealing his latest red card. David Bates and Ryan Hardy come on to the bench, along with Nico Cranchar, who's missed the last 7 matches. Well, what a week they've had. Hibs lost the Edinburgh Derby, Rangers lost their manager and a League Cup semi-final. Graham Murty is back in charge again. They are 2 teams in need, and kick-off is next at Murrayfield. He's back, he's the captain, and you wouldn't be surprised if he had something to say today. Or might he have something in store today? Kyle Lafferty spent 4 years at Rangers. He did his bit when they won the title in 2011. There are a few points to prove out there among both sets of players. What are you expecting today, Andy?
Well, I think it's a gain for leaders. Both clubs have had really disappointing results over the last week or so. The change at Rangers, I think we all knew that it was coming. And if the dressing room is divided, and I think it is, then the best way to go about it is by putting on good performances. And I think that's what Graham Murty's initial impression will have to be.
Rangers have slipped to 4th in the Scottish Premiership table. Point behind Motherwell, 5 behind Aberdeen, 8 behind Celtic. Hearts are comfortably ensconced in mid-table. This is the first of 8 home games as such in a row for them. Declan John on the front foot now, filling in again for the injured Lee Wallace, who has been allowed to come to the game today, having been ordered to stay away from Ibrox in midweek by Pedro Caixinha, bizarrely. Tavernier has Ryan Jack in support. He's appealed his latest red card, enabling him to play today. Jamie Walker, who of course was strongly linked with a move to Rangers. Michael Smith aiming to advance for Hearts. Kyle Lafferty facing his former club. Here's Candeas. Morelos making a move ahead. Christoph Berra will close the door though.
Well, it's easy from up here, Ian, but just surprised he didn't see the run on the far side there from Windass. He was free.
Disappointing defeat and performance in the Edinburgh Derby midweek for Craig Levein in his second spell in charge of Hearts. Graham Murty in his second spell as caretaker manager of Rangers. Salvers pitched that off Ryan Jack. He was rather relieved that not much came of it.
Did well, Gonsalves, but his choice of pass was so heavy.
Ross McCrory starting again as Fabio Cardoso recovers from that broken nose. Tavernier up towards Kenny Miller, who'll be raring to go today. Kenny Miller had actually been training with Graham Murty's under-20 squad after Pedro Caixinha ditched him from the first team squad. Jack returns it to Tavernier. It is a very blustery day in the Scottish capital. Firm header from Smith, but here is John. Now Danny Wilson, who captained Hearts to the championship title. Hasn't played much lately. Here's Tavernier. Free kick for Gelac, and the man in charge today is back in Edinburgh. Craig Thompson also refereed the Edinburgh Derby on Tuesday night. Suter goes long. Not too long as it turned out.
Yeah, they've been doing a lot of that recently, Hearts. Going diagonal, whether it's Berra or Suter. But at least this afternoon, if they do go long, Lafferty should have the support close by of Gonçalves.
Rangers haven't actually lost on their Scottish Premiership travels since February, when Graham Murphy was in charge, funnily enough. But at Inverness, Andrea Krashinia never lost an away league game. He didn't have too much else to write home about, in fairness. Windass. Miller looking to run onto it, but Christophe Berra, the Hearts captain there. Windass, after Jason Holt won it back.
Well, it's an interesting formation the Hearts have taken up this afternoon. When you've got the young Cochrane just sitting in front of that back four, you've got Moore on the right of him, Callaghan on the left, Walker, who's the creative one, a bit further forward. But this 16-year-old taking on a great deal of responsibility.
Lafferty rising with McCrory, steered away by Wilson. Given away by Callaghan, but he tried his best to make amends, unsuccessfully so. Here's Holt, facing his former club, scored against Kilmarnock. Morelos from Berra in his way. Windass sees his effort diverted for a corner.
Rangers showing that they can be quick on the break. Morelos, I don't know if that was going to find the target. It certainly keeps Rangers on the attack.
Windass, whose penalty was saved in stoppage time against Kilmarnock, and we all know what happened next. Windass to take this. Evaded everyone.
Always a wrestling match right in the heart of that 6-yard box.
The head of McCrory. Jacques will take this throw. Hearts beat Rangers twice at Tynecastle last season, including a 4-1 demolition. Suter underneath that, but he's presented it to Windass. He'll hoist it high.
I thought his first touch was good. It's a difficult ball to control instantly. Suter here just tries to get the headed clearance, but a really good first touch from Windass, not so good with the second.
Yeah, he had his chances at Hampden last weekend, but seemingly kept shooting straight at the keeper. These two teams met at Ibrox in August, and the game finished 0-0, their first goalless draw for a decade. Lewis Moore, heartily involved. Jellak will take the throw. Jamie Walker. John McLaughlin is Hearts' new number 1. Ryan Jack. Michael Smith tidies up. High into the sky by young Ross McCrory. Jamie Walker's header. Offside, actually given against Gonçalves as he went to make a move for that. Gonçalves scored at Ibrox at the end of last season and made his Hearts debut against Rangers earlier. Too much on that, there's been a few of those. There's towards the idea from Danny Wilson. Jellak's throw. Lafferty has something to say about that to Craig Thompson. Tavernier. Candace. Tavernier, and the flag stays down against Kenny Miller. And McLaughlin did well.
Did really well, McLaughlin. Kenny Miller was onto that in a flash, that through ball from Tavernier. See Miller there getting away from Suter. But McLaughlin now really sharp, getting a good touch to it.
Gonsalves. It's come off him as Danny Wilson challenged. The Rangers throw.
He's an experienced man in the heart of the defence this afternoon. Remember the time when he was the young man alongside Davy Weir, learning a lot. We need to pass on some of his experience to young McCrory.
Yeah, it's only his third appearance of the season, his first start. Declan John, who came in on loan from Cardiff. Beres header. Lafferty rising with McCrory. Callaghan was the beneficiary, but his effort blocked by Wilson. Declan John holding up Jamie Walker. Callaghan shows. Jason Holt gets involved. Smith perhaps preparing to go long. Kyle Lafferty will show interest here. Away by Jack, and by Miller, and by Windass. Hearts are currently 7th in the table, but they will join Rangers on 18 points if they win today. Berra. Lafferty. John. Holt. Scored his first goal for over a year against Kilmarnock on Wednesday. Tavernier. Candace takes over. Miller. Stopped by Berra. Jack now for Holt.
Callaghan was claiming to Craig Thompson, the referee there, that he got the ball. Jason Holt just trying to turn. He got the ball first, but he's come through the man.
This is Hearts' third game at Murrayfield this season. They drew 0-0 with Aberdeen and St Johnstone 1-0 last week. John, Windass. Jack. Windass. Wilson. Tavernier. Cross went behind Miller. Suter unable to clear it effectively though. Tavernier. Left out by Gillard for a corner.
No surprise to see Tavernier up in the opposition box again. You always feel as though his best work is from middle to front. Always feel if Rangers get a right back, he'd be better served in a midfield area.
Daniel Candace to take the corner. Candace given another opportunity here. Plenty of time on his hands as well, but Holt. Tavernier. And then just got rather bogged down. Well, when he got the call to be caretaker manager of Rangers first time around, he was actually watching rugby, the Glasgow Warriors. Here he is, ironically, at the home of Scottish rugby. happily accept a corner.
Yeah, last touch off Christoph Berra there keeps Rangers on the attack.
Kenny Miller alive to a quick corner here. Candeas, Danny Wilson is far post. McCrory makes contact too. Tavernier, there's been a clash of heads. The referee will stop the game.
I think it's McCrory and Callahan, both of them going for the ball. It's Berra actually. That's a sore one. You can see this loose ball, Berra getting up for it, McCrory as well. Just as they try and make a connection. Clash of heads there, hopefully they'll be okay.
Graham Murty had 6 games in charge in his first spell as caretaker, won 3 of them, and drew at Celtic Park, of course. Levine taking the opportunity to pass on some instructions to Isma Gonsalves. Both Berra and McCrory are back on their feet. How's it of the job when you're a centre-half? To resume.
Kenny Miller wants to contest it. He's given up now. Hearts are just going to kick it back to Rangers.
He was going to go for goal there for a moment, Carl Lafferty. Here's Danny Wilson.
Wouldn't you just love to see that?
Windass, Miller. Holt will leave it for, he won't leave it for John, but he does have the left backing support. So routine save for McLaughlin from the ex-Hearts man.
Yeah, but I think it was important, the run of Declan John here, because it allowed Holt to advance a bit further forward. Smith had to be aware of what was on the outside. Got his shot away, but comfortably saved from McLaughlin.
Jalak. Tavernier. Candeas for Miller. Now Ryan Jack. John.
Well, Graham Murty would have been looking for a strong start from his players. They're certainly edging it in possession. Look threatening. Miller trying to get in behind. Morelos having a pop at goal. It's difficult for Hearts when they're used to Tynecastle and the tightness of the pitch, the home atmosphere, the comfort of being at Tynecastle. This is totally different, the wide open spaces.
Rangers are actually the highest away scorers in the Scottish Premiership this season with 14 goals. 4 wins in 5 on their travels. They only dropped points at Carrick Thistle. Here is Harry Cochrane, just 16 years of age. 16 years, 187 days. Hearts putting considerable faith in their young players these days. And another 16-year-old on the bench in Anthony McDonald.
It's great to see. You just hope that they can develop. 16-year-old alongside 19, Lewis Moore. Great opportunity for them.
Berra will need to use his keeper. McLaughlin seeking out Lafferty, who does flick it on, but unfairly so. Colin Thompson was watching closely. Lafferty bemused.
Well, you can tell any sort of leading that they are now, referees will be all over it, given the lack of refereeing in the last weekend's matches.
Tavernier. And Lafferty quickly upon him. I'm sure he appreciated the pass. Danny Wilson. actually 2 points better off than this stage of last season, and 9 goals better off as well. And slumped to 4th in the table. Here's Jelak. Good shout from Wes Foderingham. Allows Wilson to leave it.
I think we've got a stronger league. It's good to see Hibs not only coming up but doing so well, threatening the top half of the table, threatening the European spots. Aberdeen have made a good transition from turning around a number of players.
Morelos for Miller. Windass furthest forward, but a heavy pass from Miller.
And of course, great to see Motherwell up there as well. Ian, it's been a terrific start to the season.
Walker. Callahan. Smith. Callahan. Declan John can clear. Lafferty showing interest, but nobody too near him for Hearts.
The supporter was actually behind them.
Miller, now Morelos. Suter makes the challenge, Morelos saw him off, and then Miller's pass was rather heavy again. He's annoyed with himself.
Yeah, you can't expect Kenny Miller just to come in and be at his sharpest. He's been away from the team for a few weeks now. There's a real chance to get a good through ball to Morelos there. No wonder he's shaking his head. This is a good ball onto Morelos. And Morelos is up so quickly after this challenge from Suter. But that pass there from Miller, just too heavy. McLaughlin yet again, sharp off his line.
John. Windass. Tavernier. Candace. Gonsalves up against McCrory. Foul. And a handy free kick for Hearts.
Yeah, he's just getting too close there, McCrory. Gonsalves loves this. His hands are all over him. He's got the strength, he's got the ability just to hold him off. Eventually he's fouled. And this now becomes really promising for Hearts here.
Yeah, Kyle Lafferty looks like he fancies having a go. What he would give for a top corner job against his old club. At the end where 14,000 Rangers fans are housed. Foderingham is screaming at his wall here. He's had to come out and shout. Can Kyle Lafferty produce here? Stunning! You just knew he would have something in store today, and that really was something special from Kyle Lafferty.
It's fabulous, isn't it? Tremendous execution of a dead ball. Kyle Lafferty gets this over the wall. It doesn't jump at all. There's no way they're even trying to make it difficult. But look at the movement of the ball. There's a real whip in that. Starts out almost centrally and eventually ends up in the top corner. Not a chance for Fotheringham. Tremendous pace in the ball, but that's a brilliant technique. I just wonder if the wall had jumped, whether they might have got even just a nick on it, might have taken it over the bar.
Some things are just meant to be, I guess. Kyle Lafferty scoring against Rangers. And what a goal, what a free kick. Complete masterclass. Gonsalves now. Callahan making a run through and he's latched onto it here. And Fotheringham makes a crucial save to prevent Hearts going 2-up.
What a chance that is. Callahan, normally composed, an attacking midfielder. Look at the timing of the run, going beyond Wilson, trying to set himself for a shot. Wilson actually does well just to get a wee hook on his shoulder, puts him off slightly. But he should have scored.
Hearts fans are making the most of this. On the back of an Edinburgh derby defeat. That's the way to go about things. Take the lead against Rangers. Through that man, Kyle Lafferty.
Well, the question now is, can Hearts build on it? Can Rangers show any character and come back? Are they a squad that's united? All of these things you'll see in the next hour or so.
Windass furthest forward. Well, in his first game, in his first spell as caretaker, he was behind within 7 minutes against Morton in the Scottish Cup. But Kenny Miller took him out of that hole, and Rangers went on to win. How will Rangers respond? Been used to scoring first in the Scottish Premiership this season.
Well, I don't think he had any chance with a free kick, but he does well here. As Callahan sets himself, doesn't get the best connection, but Fotheringham makes an important save.
Corey's let it bounce, but managed to shrug off Lafferty. Callahan. Moore, just the wrong side of Walker. Gonsalves nearly got a glimpse. He does get a glimpse now as he puts Declan John under pressure.
Well, Rangers under strength in the heart of that central defensive area.
Mr. Berra tidying up here. Former Rangers man Chris Burke got that late equaliser at Ibrox for Kilmarnock in midweek, and now another former Rangers man has scored against them. Talk about rubbing it in.
Well, we always knew he'd be a goal threat. I just didn't see the quality coming from a dead ball. He's not been renowned for anything from a free kick. That was absolutely first class.
Lafferty, nobody ahead of him. John now advancing with purpose, but he's allowed Suter to get a clear side of the ball.
Lovely touch from Windass just to set John away.
McLaughlin collects. And Budge gave Hearts fans a detailed account of developments at Tynecastle, but they hope to move back into late November. From the Queen of Hearts to the King of Rangers, and Dave certainly has a big decision to make about who will be their next manager. Smith will take this throw. Salvis shadowed by Declan John. Windass nearby too. Salvis able to deliver, but Danny Wilson on hand.
Too easy for him to get that ball in. John should be doing better.
Cochrane. And Jack saw that coming. Morelos now for Holt. Advantage played after Lafferty took out Holt. Jack. It's Kenny Miller. And Smith turns it away for the corner.
Long stem from that ball in midfield from Cochrane. It was a loose one, gave possession away, and Rangers were all over it. So important for Cochrane just to retain possession.
Rangers are 4-0 up on corners, but 1-0 down on goals. A chance to respond here. Half an hour played at Murrayfield. And there's sending it to Jason Holt. And there's on the outside of his boot. It came off Smith. McLaughlin rises. Doesn't get to it, but the free kick is given as Morelos challenged.
Looked a right good leap from Morelos. McLaughlin going for it there. In the current climate, I think anyone who raises their arms at the moment, given how poor the refereeing was last weekend, referees are just going to blow.
Alfredo Morelos has been the pick of the summer signings for Rangers, but he has gone 6 games without scoring. Knocked on by Lafferty. And again. Powerful header from Gielak. Lafferty. Now Jamie Walker. Cochrane goes back to Christoph Berra.
You expect another diagonal here, but I think Hearts need to get Jamie Walker on the ball. He's the one who's got a bit of imagination. From middle to front, Walker can create things. Try and feed off the likes of Lafferty and Gonsalves.
Jamie Walker, who looks set to join Rangers, still might one day, but occupying the marooned shirt for now. Declan John. Christoph Berra. Fouled by Morelos. Suter for Berra. Berra gives it to Harry Cochrane. Berra is twice the age of Cochrane. Wilson. Callahan. Walker.
Loose from Tavernier. Shooter was trying to play that into Gonsalves. Both him and Lafferty on the left-hand side just now.
Tavernier up towards Morelos. Morelos charging into Cochrane.
Though Hats wanted a foul for his first attempt, that there. Referee waved play on, and then there was another one with a bump.
Suter. Lafferty. Danny Wilson will pick up a yellow card for that challenge.
Stupid challenge. Danny Wilson's got enough experience now to know that Lafferty's going nowhere. He's taking a good first touch, he's just playing it wide.
Danny Wilson rather rusty after injury, but no Alves or Cardoso for Rangers. So it had to be him and McCrory at the back. Suter to send this in. And the Rangers rather relieved that nothing came with that, because it looked like something might.
Well, so lucky, no one followed those runs.
Cochrane looked pretty close to being outside of the area then. Candelas can't believe that it hasn't been given.
Well, he certainly touched it outside the area, Ian. Craig Thompson looked over at his linesman, but no one really sure whether he handled it.
Wilson for Tavernier.
Well, here's a through ball. McLaughlin comes out. It's inconclusive there. He certainly touches it outside the box. Does he touch it with his hands? Yeah, I think he does. He controls it with his right hand at the very least. Poor judgment there. He's actually made both hands to it, but it certainly touches his right.
Candelas certainly knew. More. Jamie Walker had to take it sharpish.
Well, he knows he can do better. Moore just trying to find, I think, a yard of space for himself. But when he knows he's getting closed down, just popped it off to Walker. That was a poor attempt from him. But he's very lucky, isn't he? That was definitely handball outside the box from McLaughlin. He's looked really sharp early on coming off his line, but he was outside his box there for sure.
Candelas. Candelas held up by Gelac. Certainly a powerful presence. Gelac saw that coming, got there ahead of Holt. Lafferty now. Declan Jack took it across and send it out for a throw. Well, John McLaughlin certainly got away with that handball outside of the box. The assistant referee, who would have been looking across that side, is Douglas Ross, MP.
Good pressure from Consalves. Fotheringham couldn't cope, screwed it out. Pat's still on the attack. There's Consalves making the run. Fotheringham trying to get it away, but loses control.
Michael Smith will take this throw. Gelac. Candelas. Oh, Morelos. He went into Christophe Barrel, but not sure it needed a reaction like that from Alfredo Morelos.
Well, Craig Thompson taking no chances. a head knock. He's asking for treatment. Christophe Berra it was. Just this long ball, both of them coming together. He certainly wasn't. He was in a good position to spot that. But his position earlier on for that ball that went through to McLaughlin, you can see Craig Thompson in the middle. Now Craig Thompson, you can see him looking over to his linesman. He should be able to see this with a hand. I think he's looking at his linesman to see, hang on, where is it? Is it in or outside the box? It's clearly out, and Hearts have got away with one there.
Yes, one that got away from Douglas Ross and Craig Thompson. The Rangers have every reason to feel rather hard done by on that score. Final 5 minutes of the first half, and Gonçalves will collect this. Suter, Miller. Morelos against Berra was becoming kind of a battle. Driven against Ryan Jack. Aaron Callahan. I think Ryan Jack he's already had one of his 3 red cards rescinded. Might he get another one rescinded?
Oh, I would think so. I mean, the behaviour on Kip Broadfoot was laughable, embarrassing. I would imagine he would get off with that again.
Morelos will be spoken to here by Craig Thompson. Can be a bit spiky, but that's very much part of his character. Colombian striker. Rory does manage to secure a goal kick, despite the presence of Gonçalves.
Yeah, good position from Craig Thompson to see that. Gonçalves trying to get a boot in. He's a real threat, a physical threat at the moment. He's working hard off the ball, both McCrory and Wilson.
Jamie Walker in rather late. And Jason Hall.
Rangers have to show they can take these fouls. They were bullied last week against Motherwell. Didn't see it against Kilmarnock. But they have to show more aggression, they have to show more strength, and they have to stand up to any sort of physical challenge. It's part of the game.
Morelos moved away from Berra and found Kenny Miller! Well, you just knew that would happen too! Kenny Miller is back, doing what he does for Rangers! An equaliser before the break! And he just had to have a say as well as Carl Lafferty.
Well, that's the player that Lee McCulloch was referring to earlier. The winner, the leader, the timing of the run forward, clearly onside. The right back Smith plays him on. He gets a slight break when he takes his shot. It comes off Suter, and that just lifts it over the advancing McLaughlin. But you take that look, you take that break, then Miller's always looking to get beyond the striker and get a shot away.
Kenny Miller in from the cold, in as captain and scoring. And let's be honest, we all thought it might happen. It just did. Kenny Miller frozen out of the last 4 matches by Kenny Miller. He was training with Graham Murty's under-20s. There's Harry Cochrane though with an opening and forcing Fotheringham into a save.
It's a really good effort with his left foot, Cochrane. You can see him here in a good position. Good first touch, just right down the throat of Fotheringham. You'd expect that save from the goalkeeper.
Hearts have their first corner. Alfred is to whip it in. Christoph Berra, fast stick. Another corner. Corey fuming.
I know some referees would give offside for that. You take a short corner like that, throw it in. It's actually off the pitch when he comes on to receive that ball.
Not often you see a centre half taking a corner, but it'll happen again here. Suter to whip it in. Lafferty unable to connect. Jamie Walker found his route blocked by Jack. Now free kick.
Well, Kenny Miller's got Rangers back into the game, and I think it's crucial how well he links up with Morelos here. Credit to Morelos from getting away from Berra. The weight of the pass is a good one. Miller takes a good touch. Quite happy to take the advantage of that. Bring it off Suter into the back of the net.
2 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this first half. Holt. Foul. Suter on Morelos. Rangers buzzing a bit now. Here's Tavernier. Lewis Moore away to Jamie Walker. The run by Callahan. Super Sunday starts on the South Coast with the South Coast Showdown. Brighton Southampton from 12:30 on Sky Sports Premier League. It's followed by Leicester and Everton, who've both let their managers go. Claude Puel's first game, 3:30 Sky Sports Premier League. Callahan, Smith. And Sarvis returning it to Smith here. Lewis Moore made up quick ground to get into the box, but a corner for Hearts at the end of the half.
Excellent from Michael Smith on the overlap there. When you are playing with that diamond, so important you get a bit of width from your full-backs. Smith more than happy to get up and support there.
So John Suter will trudge across to take this in what could be the last action of this first half. Suter takes, and his fellow centre-half Berra was trying to get near it, but that is the last action. Hearts ahead with a fabulous free kick from Rangers' old boy Kyle Lafferty, but the old boy of the current team responded with an equaliser just before the break, having come in from the cold under Pedro Caixinha. John McLaughlin got away with handling the ball outside the box at the break at Murrayfield. Hearts 1, Rangers 1.
Welcome back to Murrayfield. 1-1 at the break here between Hearts and Rangers, and the match stats underlining how close it's been. Shots almost the same, possession 50-50. Lee McCulloch and Chris Commons are back alongside me. And Chris, what do you make of that first 45 then? A game that seemed to come to life after that first goal.
It did, yeah, and it was a terrific goal. Actually got this game going, but I think overall, first 45 minutes, very even. You know, we've seen the stats there, you know, possession, corners, goal attempts. So it's a, you know, quite an evenly balanced game, but, you know, I think going into half-time and coming back out, everyone will be looking to win the game from both sets of camps.
When Kyle Lafferty stepped up to take the free kick, Lee, you said this could go anywhere. How did he put this one away so superbly? It's a fantastic strike.
Well, first of all, it's a foul, but I've seen Kyle do this on a number of occasions, but I've also seen him hit the back of the standing, but take nothing away.
You did say it could go at the stadium.
I think that's terrific technique and something that's obviously he's more than capable than, but the goalkeeper's got no chance here. That's right in the top corner, and well done to the big man.
Yeah, perhaps indicative of a player playing with a bit of confidence just now. He's getting goals and finding his feet again.
He is. He's 8 goals, is it?
He's probably on the best run of his career, yeah. 8 goals in the last 5 games. But, you know, one thing with Kyle, he's never been prolific. I think his best goal scoring tally was 15 when he was playing with Rangers with Lee. So, you know, he's not a prolific goal scorer, but certainly a man when he's got confidence that can take it to the next level.
He's a scorer of really important goals, as you've seen in the European run for his country, and I think that's something that he was at Rangers. And again today, getting the first goal is obviously important time to score.
Yeah, Kyle Lafferty is good for important goals. So is Kenny Miller. It was written in the stars he would figure today and contribute to the game. Talk us through his goal and what he's brought to Rangers, Chris.
The little bit there that Morales does, you know, he runs Christophe Berra into the channel. Body gets himself into a really good position, shows strength, cuts inside, and this little flicking behind there is genius. It's a beautiful ball. A little bit of luck with the finish, but listen, the Rangers fans have not had a great deal of luck of late, so it's something that they do. Great for Kenny, delighted for him, and it kind of gets them going into the changing rooms with a little bit more momentum and puts Hearts on the back foot a wee bit.
Yeah, goal apiece then in the first half. One moment of controversy. Should John McLaughlin have been punished for a handball outside the area?
Well, we've seen it 3 times in super slow-mo, and it is handball. But I think when you see it at that speed, and the referee's having to run 40, 50 yards to try and get a glimpse of that, you know, Craig Thompson looks directly to his linesman because he's unsure. But Lee was saying that the referee should be angling his run in, didn't you?
Yeah, I know they sort of run a straight line across diagonally across the pitch, but we anticipated that the goalkeeper was out too early. So can Craig Thompson not take a step to his left or his right to make sure he's got a better view? Instead, he just relying on his officials. Maybe I'm being super critical.
It's his job, though, his duty as a referee to try and get himself in the best position to see all the incidents. He's clearly not done that there. But again, it's at full speed. It's very difficult to even see if he has touched the ball. But in super slow-mo, it's a handball.
OK, that's the big talking point of the first half. A goal apiece, though, at the interval. Lafferty lashed this one in to put Hearts ahead. But after surviving this handball claim, it was Kenny Miller who stepped up to make Murty a far happier man. All the second half action is next. Once we're done here at Murrayfield, the live football continues on Sky Sports this weekend. Tomorrow there's a double header on Super Sunday. First up, it's down to the seaside as Brighton host Southampton. That's on Sky Sports Premier League from 12:30. But that's followed by a game, well, with real interest on it. Leicester City under new boss Claude Puel face managerless Everton. Ronald Koeman is gone. How will the players respond? David Unsworth is in temporary charge of the Toffees. Then to start the new week, Monday Night Football is back again on Sky Sports Premier League, this time from 7. We take you to Turf Moor. It's Burnley against Newcastle United. OK, guys, it is finally poised. You mentioned, Chris, that both teams will look to win this now. Who do you think is better positioned to do that from what we've seen in the first half?
I think if Rangers get off to a good start, we could put Hearts under pressure. But I think the longer the game goes on and there's not many chances happening in there, I think Hearts will then grow in stature and grow in confidence and then, you know, maybe nick it.
Yeah, looking at the Rangers' point of view, Kenny will be buoyed by that end to the half. Do they have it within them to take this forward now?
Of course they do. They've got the players. They've got the players with the resources to go and win the game. Kenny was very quiet up to his goal. He had a chance to slip somebody in the left and overweighted the pass. But he got a little bit of luck with the goal, and now it's game on, second half.
OK, well, let's get back to the action then and to your commentary team, former Celtic striker Andy Walker, and first, Ian Crocker.
Well, Hearts will start the second half. They won both games against Rangers at Tynecastle last season. The last time they beat them 3 times in a row at home, as such, was back in the mid-80s when Craig Levein was playing for them. That free kick from Kyle Lafferty gets better and better with every viewing. Predictable, I guess, that he should score it against his former club. Predictable also that Kenny Miller should level it. Craig Levein chatting to John Daly and Austin McPhee. And Daly, former Rangers striker. These two teams in urgent need of a pick-me-up after what's happened to them in the past week. Locked together at 1-1, it's a hard one to call, Andy.
It is, and you just need big players to step up. Just offside there from Windass. I just wonder whether Rangers have got any more with Miller there leading the way. Morelos, I think, has been working really hard off the ball. They need a bit of quality. I think Windass has been quiet. On the other side, Candeas has been quiet. And with Hearts playing quite a direct approach, they're more than likely to get a bit of joy with the likes of Lafferty and Gonsalves.
Brooklyn skip aimed towards Lafferty, who does make contact. Gonsalves now. Wilson goes across with him. Gonsalves also has Tavernier to contend with. Contended with both rather well, but Jalak's cross blocked by Tavernier, who makes sure of a goal kick. What will this second half have in store at Murrayfield? Morelos certainly played his part to set up Kenny Miller. Kyle Lafferty's free kick was only the 11th goal Hearts has managed in the Scottish Premiership this season. Only Kilmarnock have scored fewer. Windass takes out 16-year-old Harry Cochrane.
Good use of the body from Cochrane, realised he was being pressurised, just let the ball run through him. Trying to go on it again.
Suter made a hash of that. Candeas bursting away here, Daniel Candeas. Dara blocks it. Tavernier tries. Jack for John. Gonsalves slid in. Rangers have a throw.
Looked like a handball as he slid in there, Gonsalves.
It is given. Jamie Walker has an issue at the moment for Hearts, so there'll be a slight delay to proceedings.
It's a real pity because they want him to be on the ball. He's got that creative ability, but it looks as though he's struggling here. Hearts might be forced into a change so early in the second half. You can see he was getting back on that Hearts left-hand side. Christophe Berra signalling that a change has to be made. You can see Walker here just trying to get back. And there's absolutely no contact. He's just pulled his hamstring. It's a real shame for him.
It's a blow for him and for Hearts, and they will have to make a change. We do have another 16-year-old on the bench who might be rather suited to that position as well. Anthony McDonald. Jamie Walker facing a spell on the sidelines, is where he's heading now.
They've got Henderson there, they've got Brandon, both of them played at defeat against Hibs, Cole Stockton as well.
Meantime, it's a free kick for Rangers. Declan John takes it, doesn't clear the first man. Michael Smith.
Certainly taking the time to make the change here. Craig Levine and his coaching staff. It's an important one. Walker's the one at the front of that diamond. Creative spark, trying to link up with Gonsalves, Lafferty. Just wonder what they're doing, maybe change the formation slightly.
Lafferty offering a quick apology, but he does receive a yellow card.
He's on the slide there, he's really late.
Will be coming on for Hearts in place of Jamie Walker, Serbian who's on loan from Foggia. Maybe if it had been a bit later, they might have been tempted to pitch another 16-year-old into the fray in Anthony McDonald. for Jamie Walker. Milinkovic now waiting in the wings. They had a good old think about that. Craig Levine and John Daly, Mr. McPhee, certainly didn't rush into it, did they?
Yeah, and you can see there Kyle Lafferty dropping back into the midfield area for the moment. That's down to 10.
Suter. Fended off Morelos. Moore. Gonçalves. Just stopped his run there, Girac, allowing Windass to clear. Hearts now can bring on the Serbian Milinkovic, who made his first start for them against St Johnstone here last week. Hearts forced into that change early in the second half. Milinkovic. Cochran. Caught by Tavernier, who's got Morelos alongside. He's found him. Morelos. And it's blocked by Barron.
And that's how punishing it can be when you give the ball away. Cochran yet again. It was Tavernier. He was looking for someone with a bit of pace on his left-hand side. Smith had done well to get back, and eventually he gets out to Morelos. But Hearts, by that time, with enough men back to defend it.
Windass to take the corner. Danny Wilson steers his header wide.
Well, Wilson does well, not going for goal here, but just to help it into the 6-yard box. Someone should be hovering around there to take advantage.
Rangers target Jamie Walker, receiving some treatment for that hamstring injury. McCrory all over the top of Lafferty there, and a free kick for Hearts. Even Big Carl saw the funny side of that one. Spun away to Candeas, now Kenny Miller. Kenny Miller scoring his 149th goal in Scottish football today, albeit with a touch of assistance. Gonçalves. There was more showing interest, but Fotheringham will smother. John. Holt. Jack. Danny Wilson. Declan John. Tavernier. Trapped here by Lewis Moore. Who's certainly got stuck in.
Yeah, 19 Lewis Moore, enjoying this experience as well. Trying to make his way at Hearts, getting a really good opportunity.
Holt. Perfectly picked out. Windass. He might have done more with that.
He's in a quiet game, I think, Windass. I think Berra was looking for the offside flag here. Windass looking to get in behind, he's clearly on. Gets a lot of power behind it, but he completely pulls it wide.
Scored 17 goals in his last season with Accrington Stanley. He does have an eye for goal, but hasn't showed it that often in his time at Rangers. Just a couple of goals for them. Salvis will rise with McCrory this time. Candeas. Tavernier. Morelos. A better touch than Jack. Jason Holt onto this though. Offside against Kenny Miller.
Well, Cochrane's lucky. He's given the ball away far too often in his own half. Rangers couldn't take advantage there. Look at him here, trying to find a pass. He's under pressure from Windass. Miller just offside.
Smith. Berra. Jelak. Straight through to Fotheringham.
He's got the ball in his arms, Fotheringham, but McCrory and Wilson are back, trying to look for it, but Hearts are pressing high, forcing him to kick long.
Miller. Candeas. Struck it well enough, but straight at McLaughlin. Straightforward save, really.
Good run from Tavernier again on the outside. Gives the man in possession a bit of time. Candeas cutting inside to get a shot away.
Rangers are unbeaten in their last 10 away games in the league. Their best run on that front for 6 years. Milinkovic. Smith. Callahan's cross. Away by McCrory. Milinkovic. Smith. Sutar for Cochrane. Morelos trying to foul Suter and did so eventually.
He just couldn't resist him, Morelos. It's a cheap foul, and I think it will just allow Hearts to put this right into the box.
Suter the man for the set pieces, free kicks, corners. Rafferty starting far side. Jelak over there as well. Gonsalves at central. Christoph Berra to the right. What have Hearts worked on here? Suter fizzing that in. It was cleared by Morelos. And Carl Lafferty on the volley.
Yeah, he can sometimes do a good job, Morelos, when he's back out, helping out defensively, getting that header away.
Morelos up against Berra. Morelos clutching his head as he went to ground. Quickly back on his feet. Berra. Callahan for Suter. Cochrane is giving it away again. Harsh lessons for the youngster. But nothing will come of it. But there will be a free kick for Ryan Jack.
Yeah, he just needs to tighten up his control, Cochrane, his awareness.
Declan John. Never likely to be a way through there for John. Gonsalves. Just about hung in there. Callahan. Gonsalves pounces. But Holt close to him. Candeas now for Morelos. Christoph Berra in charge and into a few rows back.
I think they're both enjoying that physical aspect of the game, Berra and Morelos.
Jack Tavernier. Suter onto it. Some passes it turned out for Milinkovic. Tavernier puts a toe in. Candeas looking for a switch to Miller, but that wasn't happening. Not like that. Miller will get to this though. Offside against Alfredo Morelos. I think he knew it. Lafferty, shadowed by McCrory. Not much support for him at the moment. Callahan is there now. Jason Holt moves in too. He's the one to bring it away. Harry Cochrane. Callahan. John on his tussle with Smith. Miller.
It's all a bit scrappy at the moment. Just looking for a player to show a bit of composure, make a really telling pass forward.
James Tavernier has actually provided the most assists in all of the Scottish Premiership so far this season. From right back, here he is. Windass made a run. Well, that will carry to McLaughlin. Jelak. Jack. Windass. Morelos. Tavernier. It breaks down. It comes to Kyle Lafferty. Gonsalves. Jelak, can he deliver here? He can, but it's notable catch for Fotheringham, who now picks out Kenny Miller.
Excellent distribution there from Fotheringham.
Candeas. Salvis helping out defensively.
Now that change that Graham Murty has made with bringing Candeas over to the left. Windass is going out to the right hand side, just trying to shake things up. He's not got a great deal of quality in the bench.
The Rangers striker Jonathan Johansson has remained. Tavernier. It's Miller again! It's a goal again! A man on a mission for Rangers. He's come in from the cold and he's been hot.
Brilliant ball from Tavernier. The movement that we've seen for years from Kenny Miller. It's only a yard, but it's enough to get away. I think from Suter, he's between Suter and Smith. But look at the quality of the ball here that comes in. Tavernier, he's only got one person to aim at. And Miller finds that yard of space. It's a delightful ball. John McLaughlin can't come to take it. And then there's a control, a full head, right into the corner. Kenny Miller showing the absolute folly of Pedro Caixinha, leaving him out of the side and the squad. It's a brilliant goal from him.
Yep. I wonder what Pedro's thinking. Kenny Miller is smiling again, and you can see what it means to him. And that is a 5th assist in the Scottish Premiership for James Tavernier this season. As we mentioned, just the most in the whole of the league. Windass now in a corner. The Rangers have the upper hand at Murrayfield. Kenny Miller scores his 150th goal in Scottish football, not long after number 149. Hearts are going to make a double change soon, I think. And they'll already have to bring on Milinkovic. Candeas with the corner. Declan John. That's the free kick off Milinkovic.
Well, we wondered, Ian, what sort of response we would get from Rangers when they went a goal down to that brilliant free kick from Lafferty. We've seen it. Still, what, 25 minutes to go or so. Still a bit of work to be done. But Kenny Miller's brought them right back into it and put them in front.
Miller on a hat-trick. Here's Declan John. Jason Holt. That's on the rack a bit. McCrory. Christian Novak will be on shortly for Hearts. Possibly Cole Stockton as well. Rangers came from behind to comfortably beat Hamilton last month. They came from behind to take the lead here, but that is offside. As Windass slid it through for Morelos.
Yeah, Morelos' actions there. You can tell he wanted it a bit quicker.
He's got something about him though, Alfredo Morelos.
I like his work rate, Ian. And I think he's a much more effective player when Kenny Miller's in the team. I think he bounces off him really well. I think he links with him. Just more effective.
Yes, he has dried up on the goals front a bit since Kenny Miller was left out. Shellac here towards Gonçalves. Danny Wilson made sure he got there first. Holt. Morelos. Suter steps in for Hearts.
Well, the good thing from Holt there was that he didn't foul. Just let Suter clear it. And it keeps Rangers on the attack.
Double change. It's going to happen first for Hearts. Cole Stockton, who's come on as a sub in the last 3 games, will replace 16-year-old Harry Cochrane here. And Christian Novak is coming on for Lewis Moore, the 19-year-old. Novak, who scored in Hearts' 4-1 win over Rangers at Tynecastle last season, his only goal for Hearts.
It's a great experience for a 16-year-old, a 19-year-old. I think they can only learn from it. It's good to see Hearts putting young guys in the team. Now, time for a bit of experience. And what do Hearts have in response to Rangers going in front?
Kenny Miller. Lafferty, terrific footwork there from Lafferty.
He's been so tidy in the middle of the park and so effective with a free kick at the top end of the pitch.
Jason Holt will be onto this. Good work from Holt. Now Windass. Tavernier, can he deliver yet again? Candetta's coming in on that.
Well, Tavernier doesn't find his target there. It's a decent ball into the box. But he certainly found Kenny Miller with a second. He only had 1 target to hit. And it's a delightful ball. It's over the head of Suter. It's between Smith and Miller was in that yard of space just to make sure he got it behind McLaughlin. Great goal.
Into the last 20 minutes at Murrayfield. It's Hearts' turn to try and respond here, but Rangers look like they're fancy moving in for the kill. Kenny Miller. James Tavernier. Gonçalves though for Lafferty. Gonçalves grounded on the halfway line at the moment. Terrific challenge from McCrory.
Well, when you make a challenge like that inside the box, you better make sure you get it right, and McCrory did.
Coughlin quickly out of his goal. Callahan. Suter. Berra. Jelak. Novak returns it. John Suter. Windass. Miller. Can he find Windass? You better believe he can. Windass in the box. Morales 2. But that is all the work of Windass. An exceptional strike. And at the end of a turbulent week for Rangers, this is a perfect pick-me-up.
Well, that's exactly what they needed. 2-1. It's always going to be dangerous right up until the end, but that should be enough to ensure all 3 points. Windass does really well here. Kenny Miller feeds the ball inside the fullback, and Windass has got enough composure just to cut inside and get a shot away with his left foot. It's a really good effort. McLaughlin can't get it. It's through the defender's legs. Through the legs of Grzelak there. But Windass finds the target to give Rangers that 2-goal advantage.
With a yellow card for a celebration as well. He's had easier chances to score over this past week, Josh Windass, but that was some finish. And it's put Rangers in the comfort zone at Murrayfield. Only his 3rd goal for Rangers.
Well, this is how to affect a game, Windass. I think he's been pretty quiet, but this is the best way to make your mark. It's not often you get a chance to have a pocket goal, but when he does, he makes it count. Ruthless.
Tavernier. Callahan. Stockton unable to progress. Easy this management, Lark, isn't it?
Well, they've reacted to him and Johansson. It has been a difficult number of days for Rangers. Again, Kenny Miller back, getting a good influence in the dressing room, trying to bring everyone together. It has been divided, and this is the best way to bring everyone together. Positive results.
Tavernier. Rangers might fancy a 4th here. Didn't quite reach Morelos, and Windass hungry for another.
Well, I think is it Suter at the front post who gets the block in, and it falls to Windass. There's the block there from Suter. Windass should really score again. No surprise to see Tavernier getting up in attack, getting to the byline for another cross into the box.
Well, after an Edinburgh derby defeat, Hearts, despite taking the lead today, are staring at another loss that will hurt. Quarter of an hour to go. They need to score soon if they're thinking about a salvage operation. Windass. Novak intervened.
It's always good to get a win in when you're not at your strongest. Had Alves been available, Cardozo, Wallace. But with a few out, Rangers have done well to score 3 goals here.
They're certainly dug deep. Having gone 1-0 down. Miller. Offside against Windass. Well, a better end to the week for Dave King. Graham Murty certainly been a calming influence. Here's Cole Stockton looking for Milinkovic. Ryan Jack able to clear to Kenny Miller.
Yeah, I don't know how quickly Rangers want to make a new appointment, but at least they know in Graham Murty they've got someone who's very capable.
Here's Candace, he has something about him. It's a routine save from McLaughlin though.
I like the run of Morelos as well, off the ball, just allowing Candace to come in, get the space to get a shot away.
Stockton. Gonsalves. Zelak. Novak. Smith for Lafferty. Novak challenged by Morelos. Smith. Later on, the former Rangers manager, Mark Warburton, takes Nottingham Forest to Hull, 5:15 on Sky Sports Football. And tomorrow, a feisty fixture, the Second City derby, Birmingham City, Aston Villa, 11:30 Sky Sports Football. Rory. Stockton. Came at West Fotting with a fair pace from Ryan Jack, but he was okay with it.
Decent first touch.
Danny Wilson wins that. Callahan. Morelos putting some shift in today. Kenny Miller's alongside now. Declan John.
He's given the foul there, Craig Thompson, but Rangers were in secure possession. Just allowed play to continue, I think.
Wilson. Windass. Morelos. Candace. There's only one Graham Murty is the cry from the Rangers fans. Well, he steadied the ship last time. And on this evidence, will do so again. Here is Windass. He was due to take charge of the development team against Steven Gerrard's Liverpool last night. He was a bit upset at missing out on that, but I think today might have made up for it somehow. And Hearts muster a late fight back here. Smith. McCrory wins that. Suter for Smith. Ten minutes remaining. Smith. Callahan's cross. Nobody really showing much interest for Hearts. Milinkovic steers clear of Holt. Gonsalves. Gonsalves! Not that far away. It certainly had Foderingham scrambling.
Decent effort and unexpected as well. I think that's why Foderingham was shifting away to his left. He's got that ability to do the unexpected. Gonsalves really anywhere near the target. This is a sore one for the Hearts fans to take in on the back of losing to Hibs at Easter Road 1-0, a comfortable 1-0 it has to be said. They've been unable to build on that stunning free kick from Lafferty.
Jamie Barjonas will be on shortly for Rangers. Morelos has nipped in again there.
Now look how superior Rangers have been in the second half in attempts to Hearts. And when you're working the goalkeeper, getting on target, got the benefit with the goal.
Kenny Miller is about to be replaced by Rangers, and the 14,000 Rangers fans here will certainly rise to their feet at that moment. Crawley tidying up neatly. Morelos. Well, Kenny Miller frozen out by Pedro Caixinha. Certainly made his point today and made his mark. He will be replaced shortly by Barjonas.
Just a bit of character, a bit of leadership, much needed from Rangers at a difficult time when the manager has gone.
Gonçalves taking on Tavernier. The Hearts goal soon would be interesting. Not for Rangers, maybe. Windass, and the flag stays down. Alfredo Morelos. He has a bit to do. And McLaughlin makes a decent save, and Candeas was screaming for a pass.
Well, maybe had it been, he's certainly onside here when the ball was played. And maybe if it had been a level game, he might have spotted Candeas and played him in. I think he wanted a pocket goal himself.
He just knew Kenny Miller would be raring to go today, itching to go, having been left out of the last 4 matches by Pedro Caixinha. And you can't say that he doesn't have Rangers at heart, like all those folk. 2 goals today to turn things around for Rangers. He'll take his leave. He's smiling again, and so are Rangers.
Absolute folly to leave him out, not just the team, of the squad. Extraordinary relationship he must have had with Pedro Caixinha.
Barjonas on for his 6th appearance for Rangers. Crawley can't get near that, but did so second time around. Crawley. Tavernier. Blocked by Berra. Retrieved by Tavernier, in fact, to let it go for the throw. Tavernier. Milinkovic on his case. Jason Holt helping out. Offside on the return. Kenny Miller racking up 150 goals in Scottish football, and having been restored to the side by Graham Murty, he just kind of knew how he would react and what he might do. Football can be unpredictable, but Kenny Miller's influence on this game was particularly predictable. Eduardo Herrera will be on shortly for Rangers. Herrera, Mexican striker, most used sub in all of the Scottish Premiership this season. About to come on for the 8th time, and the jury very much out on him and a few others that Pedro Caixinha brought in.
Just the whole template of appointing that type of manager from finishing 4th, 5th in Qatar. The players that were brought in, just extraordinary management at that level.
Herrera will replace Morelos shortly. offside against Morelos now. And I think the Rangers fans will show their appreciation for the efforts Alfredo Morelos has put in today. Set up Kenny Miller, the first goal wonderfully. He's replaced by Eduardo Pereira.
Just the complete opposite of Pena, who's in on big money. This is a guy who works his socks off, on the ball, off the ball. He's back in defence, he helps out there. He's got a number of goals. He's disappointed not to score this afternoon, but certainly has a lot to offer the team. A real team player.
In the pick of Pedro's bunch by a distance, although Candeas looks like he might have more to offer. Candeas challenging here with Smith. Milinkovic for Callahan, could slip Gonsalves in, not the pass that Isma wanted. And Gonsalves all over Tavernier, free kick. Playing the first of 8 successive home matches. Hopefully the majority of those will be back at Tynecastle. And Ryan Hardy is going to come on for Rangers, as he did against Hearts in August. He scored against Hearts last season, went on loan at Raith Rovers in the Scottish Cup. Holt. One back by Callahan. Milinkovic looking for Gonsalves here, good pass. Tavernier's challenge. Smith. Novak. Free kick for Stockton. Foul by Declan John.
Yeah, silly foul from Declan John. Craig Thompson spotted it.
Well, a Hearts goal here would make for an anxious few minutes for Rangers, you would think. There's Fotheringham wanted a couple of men in a wall, just in case. There's Milinkovic to float this in, but it's away from Berra and all others, and straight through to Fotheringham.
Such a waste. Really poor free kick. And then we need to lift the pace a bit, Hearts. You've now got that run of games that you were referring to, staying in Edinburgh the whole time. Have to take advantage.
Yes, Hearts don't go outside of Edinburgh until 2 days before Christmas. Josh Windass scored Rangers' third, which has made sure it matters here in some style too. He's going to be replaced here by Ryan Hardy.
I've seen him play better on the ball, but you'll always welcome the contribution of a goal. And Windass got that, gave them that cushion that they're enjoying for the last 15-20 minutes or so.
Hardy's 12th appearance for Rangers, scored a couple of goals against Dumbarton a couple of years ago. As I mentioned, scored against Hearts for Raith Rovers last season. 3 minutes of stoppage time then, 3 goals for Rangers, 3 points. They certainly responded positively after that amazing free kick from Kyle Lafferty. Rangers have home games against Partick Thistle and Hamilton next. They might fancy their chances in those. Maybe make up a bit of ground on Celtic and Aberdeen. Not that they'll be far behind Aberdeen now.
And Motherwell.
Motherwell indeed. Milinkovic. Callahan. Gonsalves. Taking the long way round, Smith. By Wilson. Smith going long. Novak. Blocked by Holt. Cleared by Tavernier. Hardy. Jonas battling away and a free kick for Rangers. Well, Graham Murty was a good influence in his first spell as caretaker charge. Well, that point at Celtic Park, racked up 3 wins out of 6. It's a perfect start to his second spell. And the players have certainly responded to him again. Great end to a grim week for Rangers Football Club. Kenny Miller came in from the cold, and wouldn't you just know it, he scored twice for Graham Murty, who starts his second spell as caretaker boss with a victory here. And we all knew that Miller would have the impact that he did. He would have been so fired up. Josh Windass got in on the act too to extend Rangers' advantage. Kyle Lafferty scored a wonderful free kick, top corner, top class from Lafferty, which gave Hearts the lead, but that was as good as it got for them, because then along came Kenny Miller, as he so often has done for Rangers. 150 goals in Scottish football now, back in the team and back doing what he does best, even at the age of 37. The Rangers fans have been through a lot in recent years and in recent days, losing that League Cup semi to Motherwell, then that late drama that went against them against Kilmarnock. But come this weekend, there are a few smiles back on a few faces, not in the least the face of Kenny Miller. It ends at Murrayfield, Hearts 1, Rangers 3.
Yeah, so the perfect start to his second spell in charge for Graham Murty. He gets 3 points today, and his big decision pays off. Kenny Miller back in, 2 goals and an assist, earning Rangers all 3 points in Edinburgh. This is what that win has done to the table then. Rangers now up to third once more, closing the gap a little bit on Aberdeen and Celtic in advance of them. Hearts, well, they remain in 7 spots. Of course, a full card in the Premiership today. Try and get along to one of these games if you can. League leaders Celtic are hosting Kilmarnock at Celtic Park. Yeah, some cracking encounters there, and a cracking card of boxing lined up tonight, live from Cardiff. AJ is back in action. Anthony Joshua versus Carlos Takam is a special event on Sky Sports box office. The action gets underway from 6 p.m. tonight with a packed undercard, which includes 2 world title fights. Sky customers should go to channel 491 or box office to book this event. Cable customers, well, you should contact your operator for more information. And all the ways to watch, go to skysports.com/Joshua. Yeah, tonight over on Sky Sports F1, we bring you the qualifying for the Mexican Grand Prix. That is from 6 o'clock. Coverage of the race itself is tomorrow from 5:30. Can Lewis Hamilton seal a 4th Drivers' Championship? And Baby Driver is available to buy and keep from Sky Store. Fast cars, loud music. What more could you want? There you go. Well, Kenny Miller was frozen out, but red hot today. Yeah, Hearts couldn't touch him. We'll get the thoughts of Chris and Lee on that and the game as a whole shortly when we return.
been produced here. Moved away from Bearer and found Kenny Miller! Well, you just knew that would happen too! Tavernier. It's Miller again! It's a goal again! A man on a mission for Rangers! And there's in the box, Morales 2! But that is all the work of Windass!
Yeah, in that second half, Hearts saw more of the ball, just about. But crucially, Rangers got more attempts and more of them on target. That got them the goals, which earns them 3 points today in the capital. OK, we'll get more from Lee and Chris shortly. But first, let's hear from the man of the match. Kenny Miller is the story of the game, and he is speaking with Luke Shanley.
Kenny, given all you've been through, how happy were you and what does today mean to you?
Yeah, listen, it's great to get back involved. It's been a tough month, to be honest, but just try and stay strong through it, going to work every day and try and be the best you can be, help the team as much as we can. But great to be back involved again. Today was a big result. It was a shaky start for us, but I felt the second half really put our stamp on the game, controlled it, and I think we're well worthy winners in the end.
What does that say about the character of the team when you did go behind today?
Yeah, listen, it was always going to be tough today off the back of the week we've had. But again, there was always a belief there. We felt even in the first half we weren't as good as what we would have hoped we were going to be, but still felt we went in at half-time at level, and if we picked it up at a couple of gears, we always had a chance to go and win the game, and I think we showed that. We could have been a few more at the end.
150 goals in Scottish football for you now. Do you look at records? Does it mean a lot to you?
Never knew that, actually, so that's not a bad one yet. No, listen, just keep going every week, going on every day, going on, just work as hard as we possibly can, and look forward to getting back involved again.
What was the Murrayfield experience like? Yeah,
first time I've actually been here. What a stadium, fantastic. The pitch was great, so that definitely helped us, particularly the second half. We never passed the ball about as well as we would have liked in the first half, but the second half when we got our nose in front, I think it definitely relaxed us, and I think you've seen, I wouldn't say the best, but you've seen a better second half performance than what you did in the first.
You were talking about how tough it was for you. How low did you get, and did you begin to worry about your future at the club?
Listen, I'm staying strong. I enjoy coming into Murray Park every single day. That never changed. It was just disappointing I never had a game at the end of the week. But listen, I was always had belief that I would be back in a Rangers jersey. So, like I said, just delighted with the result today. It's good to get 3 points off the back of a couple of disappointing results.
Is it difficult when things are going on to keep your head down and maybe not say anything or stand up for yourself?
No, not at all. Listen, just try and stay as professional as I can. Like I said, enjoy going into work every day. That never changed throughout the process. But like I said, you train hard all week to look forward to that game at the end of it, so it's nice to get back involved, and I thought the lads were absolutely outstanding today, so big 3 points for us.
How do you kick on from here then?
Go and win next week.
And given the Graham Murty influence, what did he change today? What were you? Were the team more together?
No, not at all. Listen, again, that kind of stuff thrown to me, that dressing room's unified in there. It is. It's a lot of good people, and they're good players as well. We've maybe just not been shown it over the last couple of performances, but that was a big win for us today. That's all we're focused on, winning today, and we move on to next week now.
Well done, you're the Ladbrokes man of the match.
Thank you, cheers guys.
Kenny Miller speaking with Luke Shanley there. He says the dressing room is unified. That'll be music to the ears of Rangers supporters. Lee, was that the Kenny Miller performance contribution you expected today?
Yes, it is. As I said at the start of the show, I think it's very important to emphasise how much a leader is in the dressing room. And he's just saying there about their second half performance. It was clear they were the better team in the second half. He's got 2 goals, 1 assist. So what was the difference in the game today? It wasn't tactics, it wasn't style. It was probably Kenny Miller and Rangers having better players all round, in my opinion. Kenny's been hung out to dry a little bit from his previous manager and others at the club. So what a way to answer your critics by getting 2 goals and an assist. So I'm delighted for him.
Chris, playing for either Rangers or Celtic, you need to have big characters, people who can deal with that expectation and pressure. Kenny Miller is that, isn't he? And he comes in and he does the job, he delivers on this stage.
Pedro could not deal with Kenny Miller and the influence that he's got on these players in this dressing room. And he's shown today that when you need someone to lift you up to the next level, Kenny Miller's that man. You know, he was outstanding today, tirelessly works, and not only on his own game, he makes everyone in and around him become better players. You know, the last goal there for Windass, the ball in behind him was sensational, but he's almost asking Windass, go on, you make the run, I'll slip you in, 3-1. It was a complete performance from me.
OK, well, that is the thoughts on Kenny Miller and his man of the match performance. What about the man who was in charge today? We can now hear from Graham Murty, who's with Luke.
Graham, very well done. What does that mean to you today?
It means a great deal. But more than for me, I thought the players showed fantastic character. Coming back from a wonderful strike from Carl Lafferty, they showed real grit and a belief in one another to continue to play. And I'm really proud of them and I'm pleased for them.
Given what you said before the game, it was about the team maybe galvanising themselves and going a goal behind. Does that maybe add to what you're saying about character?
I think it's really easy to come into a job like this when you've got good players who show that kind of character. And I thought that they showed it in bucket loads today. Not only just to rise back up after that goal, but to continue to play, to actually be brave and get on the ball, because Hearts made it difficult. They were very aggressive, they pressed extremely well, but we continued to play. And once we sorted out our first pass in transition and took control of the game, I thought they showed their class at times.
Have you tried to change anything, or is it a case of not complicating it when you come in?
It's not about complicating it, it's just giving the boys confidence, patting a few on the back and making sure they realise I'm there primarily to support them, because they're the guys who have to go out and put a shift in. And I thought from one all the way through to the bench, I thought they approached it in the right manner, and I thought they did a really, really good shift for the team.
One man will steal the headlines, so Kenny Miller, how pleased are you for him?
I'm pleased for him, but he got us a win. It's not about Kenny. I think he'll be the first to say our goal comes from the best move in the first half. It's a fantastic delivery for his second goal. But you know what you got with Kenny. He's going to have those instincts. You got to get him in the team and let him play. And I thought he took his chances extremely well. I was asked the question whether he was match fit. I think he knows that he needs more games. But when you have good players, it makes my job a lot easier.
Is it easier to kick on after a confidence booster like this as well?
I hope so. You'll have to ask the players. It's about, once again, it's just my chance to put the structure in place, put the players in and make them go shine. And they have to go and rise up now. They have to go on and step forward. And I thought they did that, but we can go again. We can raise standards again. I won't be content with that. They know that. We have to raise it up again. And I think with the capacity they have, they can go and do that.
Well done today.
Thank you very much.
OK, will Graham Murty still be in charge of Rangers for their next game against Partick Thistle? Coming up after that, Hamilton and Dundee, and then Aberdeen back-to-back tricky games, both live on Sky Sports. Does it help Rangers, Chris, that they have a guy they can put in charge for the moment? They'll know he'll do a job, let it tick over, look after the players get on with him while they find the long-term solution.
Yeah, I think that's probably the right way to put it, just to keep it ticking over. I think for a club like Rangers, when you've got the resources and the players in place, it's just about picking the best team. Murty's put in the best team, they've got the best performance, and I just think that Pedro, in his antics, never got the best team on the park, and obviously Kenny Miller it comes in that category where he is one of Rangers' best players, hence why he's played today and put in a real good shift.
In terms of the manager's search, when a new man comes in, what kind of team is he inheriting? Because you heard from Kenny in his interview, he said these players are better than they've shown, perhaps it's a better group of players.
I think it all comes down to confidence, really. When you look at the game the other night, there was certain players that weren't shown for the ball, and it's easy to do that in front of 40, 50,000. But as soon as you get Kenny Miller in your team, you know as a midfield player, having played with him myself, you know you can go and get the ball for the back four or the full backs, because you know as soon as you turn, Kenny's going to be there demanding the ball. And I think that's the big difference from previous weeks till today especially.
A word on Hearts, Chris. Do they need their experienced players back sooner rather than later? Do we see that today?
They are missing some valuable players. But, you know, I think this game was just a little bit too far for them. Second half, you know, for the first 20 minutes, it was pretty even. You know, we even said, didn't we, that edgy, very edgy between the both two teams. You know, you've got new manager, you've got missing big players. But I think as soon as Rangers got the second goal, it gave them a breath of fresh air. They had a bit more of a bounce about them. They had more confidence. And Hearts didn't even get one shot on target in the second half. And I think when you're trying to win a game, you need to
Hearts,
be testing the goalkeeper.
Hearts coming off the back of a derby defeat, you're expecting a reaction today. And you didn't really get it. They had a 20-minute spell after the first goal. But other than that, I think second half, Rangers completely dominant.
Yeah, they did, and they got the points. We're back with live football next weekend as Celtic take on St Johnstone at McDermott Park. Make sure you join us for that one at noon. We're done here at Murrayfield today. There was a winning start for Graham Murty. Kenny Miller was back in. He makes the headlines. Penny for Pedro's thoughts. Goodbye.